Lionel Messi is a better international footballer than Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm going to say that again, and I'm going to say it with chest. Lionel Messi is a better international footballer than Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, the same Cristiano Ronaldo that just equaled the record for the most goals in international football history by a single player. The 2016 Euro champion is not a better international footballer than Leo Messi, the guy that, yes, missed that penalty that one time in that one final, and the same guy that's never won a major international trophy. Let's talk about it. I know right now that like most of you are probably thinking, this guy is nuts. But give me 10 minutes of your time, because when we get into this, I have a suspicion that you might maybe start seeing the light. If you, the person watching this video right now, can let go of whatever perceptions or ideas that you think you had about these two, I think if you can do that, then what you're about to hear might very well shock you and could completely change your opinion. All right, so today we're going to be using a website called MessiVsRonaldo.app. This is probably the #1 place on the entirety of the internet that you should go to if you want to get really in-depth information on both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo's careers. Cristiano Ronaldo has 109 goals and 31 assists from 179 games played. Meanwhile, Lionel Messi has 73 goals, 43 assists from 147 games played. Cristiano Ronaldo has a 131 minute per goal ratio. Lionel Messi has a 166 minute per goal ratio. And despite Ronaldo having a lot more goals than Lionel Messi, their goal contributions are about the same, with Cristiano Ronaldo having 1 goal contribution every 102 minutes and Lionel Messi having 1 goal contribution every 105 minutes. Now let's look at their stats more specifically at major tournaments. Cristiano Ronaldo has 21 goals and 8 assists in 42 games played. Lionel Messi has 16 goals and 18 assists in 49 games played. That means Ronaldo has a 173 minute per goal ratio. Meanwhile, Messi has a 261 minute per goal ratio. Yet despite that, Lionel Messi has a better goal contribution ratio with 123 minutes passing between each goal contribution. As for Ronaldo, it's 125. So then, it's pretty well lit then, ain't it? This is where most people would go, okay, dust their hands, realize Ronaldo's the one with the trophy, and they'll call it a day. Believe me, I too, for years, thought that Ronaldo was by far the better international footballer. But then a few days ago, I saw a stat which completely changed my perspective. Something that completely blew my mind and destroyed my penis. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a list of major international knockout games played by Lionel Messi. He has played 20 of these major knockout games, and in those 20 games, he has 16 goals and assists combined. This is a list of Cristiano Ronaldo's major knockout games. He has played in 17 of these knockout games, and in those games, he's been able to put up a grand total of 5 goals and assists in 17 major knockout games for Portugal. That just didn't sound right when I first heard it. I genuinely honestly thought that it was not true. And so I went and I looked myself. And to my absolute shock, the stat actually held up. In 17 knockout games, Cristiano Ronaldo had only scored 3 goals and provided 2 assists. And they all came in 3 games. That's 3 games out of 17. How did the best international footballer possibly of all time in Cristiano Ronaldo managed to not provide a single goal contribution in 14 out of the 17 knockout games that he has played in his career? When you want the biggest and best players on your team to stand up and to be counted in elimination football, these were the numbers that he had. Lionel Messi's average rating in all the knockout games he's played in the last 10 years comes to an 8.4. And as for Cristiano Ronaldo, for all the knockouts he's played in the last 10 years, his average match rating was 7.1. I looked even deeper. I saw that in all of these knockout games in the last 10 years, Lionel Messi has got 5 man of the match performances from these games. Cristiano Ronaldo has 1. It was just completely messing me up because according to the narrative that we've all been led to believe, these numbers did not make sense. It was at this point that I decided, okay, I'm going full send here. I am just trying to find everything I possibly can out about this. Sticking with the trend of, looking at the performances of the games that mattered most, I decided to look at the average ratings of every single one of the tournaments that they played in which they ended up in a final. So for Lionel Messi, that was the 2014 World Cup, the 2015 Copa America, and the 2016 Copa America. And as for Cristiano Ronaldo, that was the 2016 Euro. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo have both made other finals before, but those were about 15 years ago. I wasn't able to get proper, accurate statistical information on them. So we'll just focus on these tournaments. So Lionel Messi in the 2014 World Cup. He played 7 games, got 8 goals and assists, got 5 Man of the Match awards, scored a penalty in a shootout against the Netherlands to send them to the World Cup, and won the Golden Ball for the player of the tournament. For that 2014 World Cup, Lionel Messi had an average match rating of 8.62. Lionel Messi in the 2015 Copa America. He played 6 games in that tournament. He got 4 goals and assists combined, got 4 Man of the Match awards, and scored in both of the 2 penalty shootouts he was a part of, and also was given the MVP of the entire tournament, but it's reported that he apparently rejected it, but regardless of if that's true or not, he was awarded the best player of that tournament as well. His average match rating for that 2015 Copa America was 8.42. And in the 2016 Copa America, Lionel Messi played 5 games, got 9 goals and assists, got 3 Man of the Matches, and of course, missed that penalty in the final against Chile. Yet despite that one blemish, that one penalty miss, which everyone looks back on Lionel Messi's career, he still had an 8.76 match rating on average throughout that entire tournament. Despite that penalty miss, that was the best that he had ever played in a tournament for Argentina. And now, let's look at Cristiano Ronaldo. These were his stats in the 2016 Euro competition. He played in 7 games, got 5 goals and assists combined, got 2 Man of the Match awards. Ronaldo's average match rating throughout that competition was 7.24. Cristiano Ronaldo, in the tournament that separates him from Lionel Messi in their international careers. The tournament where Portugal finished in 3rd place and would have been knocked out in every prior Euro tournament had it not been for a rule change that was brought in for the 2016 Euros. The tournament where Portugal did not win a single game in 90 minutes for the entire competition. The tournament which Ronaldo played 20 minutes in the final of, got injured through no fault of his own, but still had no impact in the game. That same tournament which he reportedly carried Portugal to victory, he actually performed worse than Lionel Messi. And not just by a little bit, he was significantly worse than Lionel Messi's average match rating. This is the tournament that people look at and say that that's what separates him from Messi. You know that if Eder did not score that goal in extra time, no one would possibly be saying this. It truly is purely the reason that we perceive Ronaldo as the international that we do. It's because in his absence in the final, his teammates stood up. What would we genuinely think of Messi had his teammates done the same? If they had stood up in all those finals that he led them to. If Higuain hadn't been offside here, or if Higuain had scored this World Cup chance, or if Higuain had scored this Copa America chance, or if Higuain had scored this Copa America chance, or if Higuain had scored this Copa America chance. I mean, Jesus Christ, Ronaldo owes bloody Higuain a beer. And some may say, look, Messi does not deserve any sympathy. His miss in the 2016 Copa America final, had he scored it, they would have won that competition. And that could be perceived as true, although with that said, Biglia did also miss his penalty in that shootout, so it probably ultimately would not have mattered, since the Chileans pretty well went perfect in that shootout anyway. And to the people that still say if Messi hadn't missed his penalty, they would have won the Copa America, I do put this to you. What about the last Copa America final that he played in 2015 that went to a penalty shootout against Chile? The exact same thing had happened the year before. Lionel Messi was the first Argentinian that stepped up to take a penalty for his team in the final. With Claudio Bravo staring him down, Lionel Messi on the spot. Messi! He absolutely drilled it. He beautifully slotted the penalty. And do you know what happened next?
Alexis le pegó. Chile campeón. Chile campeón.
Every single one of his teammates missed their penalty after him. When Messi had done his bit for his team, he had to sit and watch from the sidelines as his teammates once again failed Argentina and failed him. When Ronaldo had done his bit, he watched on the sidelines as his teammates finished the job and won him glory. This is the reason. This truly is where our whole perception comes from. After looking at their performances, the numbers, the ratings, the man of the match awards, it would simply be, regardless of who won what, pure delusion to say that Messi did not perform better in all of his tournaments. Messi truly did drag his team not just to one final, but to 3. They couldn't get the job done, and he was let down by his teammates on every single occasion. Cristiano Ronaldo had a good tournament, a decent tournament, but he far from dragged that Portuguese side, at least in comparison to what Lionel Messi was doing for Argentina. He then sat on the bench and watched as his teammates made him the best international player of all time. Because it makes sense. Ronaldo, ultimately, despite it all, is the one with the trophy, despite not having as much of an influence in his games and for his team as Lionel Messi had. You may notice too that I haven't really been talking about the Nations League, and I'll give you a few reasons why as well. The first reason is, it's the Nations League. It genuinely is just a bit of a glorified friendly tournament by UEFA to try to get people more invested. 2 is there is no equivalent to it in South America, so it's not exactly like a competition that Messi even has a chance of winning because it doesn't exist. And 3, if you don't want to hear it from me, just look at Ronaldo himself. He didn't even bother rocking up for the Nations League until right at the end when they had made the finals. He fired them past Switzerland in the semis and then put up a 6.8 match rating performance in the final as Gonzalo Guedes scored and won them the game. And if you really do want to genuinely make a case for a competition like the Nations League when it comes to international trophies, you may as well chuck Messi's Under-20 World Cup and Beijing Gold in there, because it genuinely carries more weight, in my honest opinion, than the Nations League. As much as I'm sure some Messi fans would love to be able to do that, because it would tie it up technically at 2-2, I'm not going to, because it doesn't count. It's not a major international trophy, which is really what we're specifically talking about here. Titles aside though, the vast, actual performances in game and match ratings and everything, there is still one other thing that separates Ronaldo from Lionel Messi, and that is his spectacular goal tally. 109 goals for Cristiano Ronaldo versus 73 for Lionel Messi. That is a difference of 36. Lionel Messi has played 32 games less than Cristiano Ronaldo at international level, but with that said, Ronaldo still holds 133 minute per goal ratio, meanwhile Messi has 166 minute per goal ratio. Despite the big gulf in their goals per game ratio, their actual goal contribution ratio effectively works out very similarly. That's probably because Messi plays typically way deeper for Argentina than he does for Barcelona. So Messi gets way more assists and doesn't have as many opportunities to get himself a goal. Meanwhile, Ronaldo is a pure goal poacher. His job is to get in the best spot possible for a goal every single time and doesn't have as much to do with the build-up of a play. I won't even mention talking about penalties when it comes to goals between these two, because at international level, it's actually very similar. But aside from positional play, there's one other reason I think Ronaldo has a bit of an inflated goal tally when it comes to international goals compared to Messi. And trust me, this is big. This is a graph here of Cristiano Ronaldo's most scored upon nations at international level. I'm sure you've seen something like this before. We are also going to be taking a look at Lionel Messi's most scored on nations as well. But for now, let's just take a look at Ronaldo. You see some pretty decent teams up here, some nations that have got pretty high FIFA rankings, but then there are some that definitely stand out, like you've got your Lithuanias, your Andorras, and your Luxembourgs. And then we've got Lionel Messi. Again, up toward the top, there are some teams that stand out, but I only want to specifically point out 3. Guatemala, Hong Kong, and Nicaragua. These are the only 3 nations that Lionel Messi has scored a goal against from outside of FIFA's top 100 ranked nations. He scored 7 goals against these nations, which means that 9% of Messi's total goals have come from teams outside of the top 100. And these are the teams from outside the top 100 that Cristiano Ronaldo has scored against. 7 against Lithuania, 6 against Andorra, 6 against Luxembourg, 5 against Armenia, 5 against Latvia, 4 against Estonia, 4 against Faroe Islands, 2 against Azerbaijan, 2 against Cyprus, 2 against Kazakhstan, 1 against New Zealand, and 1 against North Korea. 45 of Cristiano Ronaldo's international goals have come from nations outside the FIFA top 100. That makes up for, staggeringly, over 40% of Cristiano Ronaldo's goals. Over 40% of Ronaldo's goals, almost half, have come from teams outside of the top 100. Looking at this, Messi has only played 6 games ever in his entire international career against teams outside of the top 100. Cristiano Ronaldo, on the other hand, has played 36. And just look at these games. Look at this. Qualifier, qualifier, friendly, qualifier, qualifier, qualifier. Like, look at these games. These are the teams that Portugal and Ronaldo are having to play versus what Lionel Messi is having to get through. The pressure of what Messi has to deal with through qualifying versus Ronaldo is crazy. Ronaldo and Portugal have more or less been able to breeze their way through into major tournaments. And I just don't think some people truly understand how much more difficult it is to qualify out of South America compared to qualifying out of Europe. In Europe, World Cup qualification is split amongst many groups, so the best teams effectively don't always play each other. In South America, there's only one group and everyone plays everyone. All the heavyweights have to face off. Can you actually imagine if Portugal and Ronaldo had to play England, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Croatia, Belgium, all of these major nations just to qualify? That is what Argentina and Lionel Messi have to go through every single qualifying. The average FIFA ranking of all of Cristiano Ronaldo's opponents in competitive games is 51. The average FIFA ranking of all of Messi's opponents in competitive games is 35. And when it comes to the top 5 teams that both Ronaldo and Messi have scored the most goals against, for Messi, the average FIFA ranking of those teams is 43. For Cristiano Ronaldo, the average FIFA ranking of all of those teams, Lithuania, Sweden, Hungary, Andorra, and Luxembourg, their average FIFA ranking is 101! If Messi and Argentina had the chance to play so many more games against so many more lower ranked opposition, I wouldn't even know what kind of numbers Lionel Messi would have if he was given that opportunity. So despite Lionel Messi having a higher goals per game ratio than Cristiano Ronaldo throughout their entire careers, you wonder why there's such a massive disparity. There you bloody go. When it comes to qualifying, Lionel Messi is having to play Champions League every single time he steps out there for Argentina. And as for Portugal and Ronaldo, they're basically playing almost Europa League, almost Conference League. But at the end of the day, Lionel Messi has led his team to 4 finals versus Cristiano Ronaldo's 2. Messi with his 16 goals and assists in knockout versus Ronaldo's 5 goals and assists. Messi with his World Cup Golden Ball and Copa America MVP, major international honors of which Ronaldo does not have any. Messi, who's been so much more important and so much more instrumental to his national side than Ronaldo has ever been. Yet he is the one that has been let down and fallen short every single final, and he's the one that people say has never done anything at international level. It's one of, honestly, the cruelest things I think I have seen in football, how Lionel Messi's international career has been treated. Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo have been knocked out in the very first knockout game of the competition, and even though Ronaldo didn't necessarily have a bad game, he again was still not able to contribute a goal or an assist. Argentina and Messi are currently still going in the Copa America this year. Messi has got 2 goals and assists and 2 man of the matches so far, and he's still going great. Even right now, I still fully believe that Messi has been a better international footballer and a more crucial international footballer than Cristiano Ronaldo. I would like to think that hopefully, if you have made the end of this video, that maybe you now start to feel the same way. But if you don't, all I ask is this: at the very least, put some more respect on Lionel Messi's international career. And hopefully this entire video can effectively become pointless in a couple of weeks, because if Argentina win this Copa America, there is no debate. But I know that they won't win because Argentina suck. God damn it. Okay, that was a bit of a big one, wasn't it? We dived deep into the statistics, and well, whatever your opinions are, that was my 2 cents. If you guys now feel the same way, if you've had your eyes opened, if you've seen the light, then let me know. If not, and you still disagree, again, let me know. Hope you've all enjoyed. My name is the Master Bucks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you next time, and have a good one. Bye-bye.